President Trump says he is withdrawing his endorsement for one of his most steadfast backers in Congress. In a Truth Social post late last night, the president said he no longer supports Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling her a...
Yup, and the fallout continues. That's right, Marjorie Taylor Greene. It seems that she had greater ambitions of becoming a senator, and Donald Trump said no, and that caused her to have a come to Jesus moment, if you will, that basically caused her to go, okay, well, f you then. You hate to see two queens fight, I know. This move is being seen as Trump putting Israel first by the online hogs. Yup, because it's true. Marjorie Taylor Greene is openly anti-Israel. Donald Trump is at an impasse here. Does he continue to try to hold the base together, or does he start attacking people who are tangentially critical of him? For us, this is a wonderful opportunity. Let's be real. Republicans have leaned into this stuff for many, many years, conspiracies, and now those chickens are coming home to roost. Don't go against Israel or Trump will call you a traitor. Marjorie Taylor Greene responds with this. President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. The Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him, even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district GA14 and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been, and I will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. This and the Epstein files is why I'm being attacked by President Trump. It really makes you wonder what is in those files and who and what country is putting so much pressure on him. I forgive him, and I will pray for him to return to his original MAGA promises. Oh, incredible things are happening on Truth Social. Oh my God. These guys are one fucking speed, dude. They have one speed. This is the same as like looking at Mark Milley and being like, oh, he's a woke Maoist Milley. Marjorie Taylor Queen. Ay, ay, ay. Unironically, more hogs look like that than liberals. Exactly. The blue hair septum piercing doesn't work no more. It doesn't work any longer. There are so many fucking crusty ass conservatives out there that look like that.
One thing that happened, I asked President Trump in the Oval Office about those criticisms of his administration from Marjorie Taylor Greene. We are now in the middle of witnessing a major blow up between the two of them. One that a lot of people probably predicted would or did not expect would ever happen, with the president attacking her and her now calling the president, saying that he is lying about her and that she believes this is all over him trying to bully other Republicans into not voting in favor of that discharge petition on the Epstein files this week. I wonder what you make of what's playing out.
It's like they put truth serum in the MAGA water cooler, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are both condemned to tell the truth about the other. Everything each says is right. They are narcissists. Marjorie Taylor Greene is right that Donald Trump has no domestic agenda except to harm ordinary people, and Donald Trump is right that Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy. So it's useful information all around. But what I worry most about this and the Epstein files and all the things that Trump has tried to keep control of, escaping his control, he has one big distraction in his hand, and I fear he may be about to deploy it. We are seeing in the Caribbean right now the largest buildup of U.S. naval forces in the region since the Cuban Missile Crisis. There is no plan. There's no authorization by Congress. There are no regional partners. It is not a war that should be fought in this way at this time. One thing it would do is change the subject.
So you're worried that he could take action on a foreign policy move?
Donald Trump, if you really want to change the discourse around this stuff, do socialized medicine. It'll really piss off everybody, okay? Nobody will talk about the Epstein stuff ever again, really. Everyone will talk about how, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. This is so unacceptable. How dare you do this? socialized medicine, high-speed rail, socialized medicine, building a robust industrial base, free college. You can call it fucking Trump care if you want. If you really want a distraction, it's much better than bombing Venezuela. And it'll be an ongoing distraction too. Please distract us with that. Mr. President, please, I'm begging you. And it's a win-win because you get to destroy Obama's legacy. Think about how much you can own the libs and own Barack Obama. You get to destroy Obama's legacy and you get to build something that's even better than what Obama couldn't achieve. Only you can do it, Mr. President, please.
I think that explains a lot of his foreign policy operations, but the forces are there. They've been pulled away from other theaters where they might be needed. They're building up to something. Again, they have no authorization. They have no allies. They have no goals. But boy, would it change the subject. And boy, does Donald Trump right now need a subject change.
Yeah, and we've seen what's been playing out. Obviously, the president was saying tonight he didn't know if he'd take that step. He wasn't sure. We know he's been briefed on options there. But on this, in and of itself, do you think that that is the reason he's criticizing Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, is because he doesn't want other Republicans coming out in what we've told could be a huge snowball effect next week when Speaker Mike Johnson actually puts this on the floor, that a lot of Republicans could end up bucking the White House and voting for this?
Touched on this last stream. One of the big stories of 2016, 2027, 2028 is that many Republicans do want to start quietly moving on from Trump and how successful Trump's attempts at controlling primaries will be as a lame duck. Yeah, he is a galvanizing force, unfortunately, for the Republicans. Establishment Republicans haven't stopped hating Donald Trump. The only times where they forget about their hatred for Donald Trump is when Donald Trump delivers on deregulation and also tax cuts for the super wealthy. But they still see Donald Trump as an uncontrollable force. That's the reason why they tried to pull the Ron DeSantis exit ramp, but it was a spectacular failure.
Listen, this fire is spreading. I mean, right? It started off talking about Epstein in the beginning. Then during the shutdown, she was one of the few Republicans that correctly identified Donald Trump's unwillingness to deal with the ACA subsidies and lower healthcare costs for Americans as being one of the reasons why the shutdown occurred.
Yeah, she was very...
Liberals love a former Republican, I guess just as much as Republicans love a former Democrat. Not to say that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a former Republican. I think she's still very much invested in being a Republican, maybe even more right-wing than Donald Trump is. But you will see liberals, I feel like it's already started, but like liberals are gushing over Marjorie Taylor Greene here. I mean, for me, it's strategic, right? I don't have an issue with hyping up what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing currently because I think it's beneficial. I think it's good when the Republicans are fighting. But I do fear that liberals might take it a step further.
Talking about that.
Now she's talking about foreign policy. This is not going away. Whatever is going on between them seems to only be heating up, and I think the rest of us should get the popcorn.
I think they're here for it.
And a war with words, sorry, Scott, a war with words with Donald Trump is such a risky business that I cannot believe she has the bravery to engage in it, because even if she was right, she's still going to lose.
Is there an example of anyone beating Donald Trump at this game?
Never. This is his game, and he's great at it. And she's barking up a tree that she's going to fall on her really hard.
You know, it's interesting. He has some people who profess to be strong supporters who do oppose him more often than the people that you might not think are his strongest supporters. She's one of them. Thomas Massie in Kentucky is another one. Rand Paul, my home state senator, he takes on Trump, although they profess to be Trump supporters. In this case, I think he had the order out of order. I trace all this back to his decision, the righteous decision to strike Iran. She was against it. So were some of the people who occupied.
Yeah, of course, Scott Jennings loves Donald Trump's righteous decision to strike Iran. He's a fucking pro-Israel stooge. I think it's an interesting phenomenon that we're experiencing because Marjorie Taylor Greene is not actually opposing Donald Trump from the left flank. Well, I guess kind of. Like, she's saying she's true to the America First principles that Donald Trump initially ran on, helping the American working class, isolationism as a foreign policy. Like, these are the things that Donald Trump initially ran on. These are the things that a lot of people like Donald Trump for. So, and there's a lot of people who are anti-Israel, so she's leaning into that crowd.